one other thing, we're talking a little bit about chassis and crate engines here, as Joseph's getting ready to run the Longhorn with a crate engine in it, and Jesse's going to run Faithful this weekend. I did see where Joseph caused a little bit of a stir on the World Wide Web earlier this week when he posted on his Facebook page a picture of some tubing that
Welded
looked
together.
Yeah, welded together in the shape of a.
What y'all talking about? That's my dune buggy.
That's what someone said. That is sandrail.
Yeah.
It looked to me like it was an almost completely welded together dirt late model chassis on a jig somewhere that did not look very familiar. Joseph posted that picture on his Facebook page, and I saw it. It had been posted for a few minutes, and there was already like 60 or 70 comments on there of people trying to figure out what the heck this was. And I texted y'all. Well, that got them stirred up.
Yeah.
But none of them know what it is.
Right.
But it wasn't very long after that you started having two or three people that figured it out.
They go to like investigation mode out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They figure it out.
Yeah, I know that jig.
as you call them.
I've seen that jig before.
They were pulling up pictures with that. Look at that that's that same yellow spoiler in this picture, so it must be.
Yeah.
So Joseph,
Anybody else has a yellow spoiler?
Do you want to tell us a little bit about that picture and what the heck was going on there?
Yeah, I mean, so here's what we got. We're selling the Betty car.
One of our Capitals.
One of the Capital cars there, getting rid of it. So that leaves us with 3 cars. And I feel like I'd like to do a little bit of the crate racing stuff, but we weren't, with selling Betty, it was kind of like, hey, we're just, what would you call it? Liquidating some assets at first, like, hey, we're just going to trim down a little bit. Well, then here you go, y'all ready?
Mm-hmm.
And after that, here comes Jeff Provenzino with 28 Special Race cars. He gave us a phone call, which if y'all kind of knew what was going on there a couple years ago, my dad had one of his cars. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Dirt Daddy had a 28 Special car down here that he done some 602 racing with, and maybe a little bit of 604 stuff back a couple years ago. And which we've known Jeff for a while. We've dealt with him on some stuff for years and years, on some things. So just kind of one of them fellas that just came and went with stuff,
Mm-hmm.
But so anyway, he reached out, say, hey, we'd like to put a car together. You guys to run it and just kind of promote this deal. Kind of help me sell some race cars. Like make it look good, run it up front, and let's see if we can move some cars here. And that's kind of like, heck yeah, we're kind of trimming down right now, so it kind of is a good time for that.
Mm-hmm.
Like let's see if we can make something happen here. So that's kind of what we did. We talked about it a little bit, came up with a little bit of a plan. And he said, all right, I'm going to order tubing and get to welding it. And then he sent me some pictures there a few days ago. And I felt obliged to include you guys on
what
on
was
our
going
progress
on
there. Yeah.
Were you expecting that kind of feedback?
Honestly, I was not that. I don't think that was a little bit overwhelming. I'm like, oh, wow. Look
Broke the internet, as they say.
And then what's crazy is everyone that gets to guessing what it is, and they're like for sure of it, and I'm like, oh no. And then here comes one person like, oh, this is it because of this, and it's like, wow, I think they got it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
they figured it out.
Yeah, so that was pretty neat, and just seeing how everybody kind of picks things up. But it was cool to see that, and but yeah, that's cat's out of the bag there. That's what we got here, and
hopefully within a few weeks here, we'll have Joseph's going to run the crate motor in the Longhorn this week at Southern. But after that, when we go crate racing, the plan would be for Joseph to be running a 28 Special, and seeing what we can do with one. I'm excited about it. See what we can do with something different. Something new to our area. You don't see that many of those down here in the deep South.
No, you don't. And that's kind of what we'd said there, like with Jeff, like, hey, he needs to tap into this market a little bit, and if we can help him do that, that'd be great. So that's kind of what we're looking at. If we can have a hand in moving some cars this way, that's what we're going to do.
Does this mean that somebody's going to have to make a trip to Minnesota here in the
oh Lord,
coming weeks?
Minnesota
you-
is a
you
ways
think-
from here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Does he deliver?
Yes.
Right.
Actually, this is going back to what year? All right, let me get my years right. This would have been 05, back in 05, right?
Yes, when we
yeah,
got the car.
yeah.
The car, if y'all, those of you who have been watching our videos for a while, remember the car that sat in the back of the shop and was the simulator car
Yeah.
that everybody asked for the first year or so of the channel. What's that car in the back of the shop? And then we finally said, well, it's an 04 GRT that we decommissioned and turned into a simulator, and then it got kind of decommissioned from that, and it's just been sitting in the shop. That
Yeah.
car we bought from Jeff Provenzino in 2005.
Yep.
And so we bought it, we saw the pictures online and bought it. And he had a guy, they put it on a flatbed. This was in like December that we made the purchase. They put it on a flatbed, brought it down to the ice bowl where we unloaded it, put it in our trailer, parked on the side of the road at the ice bowl, because you know how the ice bowl is. If you don't get there a day early, you park on the side of the highway out there. And we ran the limited late models, the Steelhead late models I did with it in 05. And I think they drew for heat race starting position back then, and I drew the back, ran mid pack in a heat, was in a B main, and they wrecked in front of me, and I tried to get through there, and one of them landed on the back of the car. Which
Oh, God.
luckily the body on it it needed a body on it anyway. But that car was the one that all three of us, Joseph, you drove it, Joshua, you drove it, even Daddy drove it, but the three of us all won races in it, as a matter of fact, and we raced it till when? Joseph, when you ran it in 2010?
I ran it in 2010. That was the last
Yeah.
time I think it
So
was run
05
competitively.
to 2010, we won races with that car, and it came from Jeff
Yep.
Provenzino. Back before he was, I believe that was
Building
before he
cars.
was building cars. He was just,
Kind of dealing them or whatever.
yeah. That was a GRT. That was a 04 GRT. So interesting story there.
Back in
A
the
little bit of-
glory days.
Oh yeah, a little bit of full circle there with race cars and people you deal with on race cars.
Right.
Anyway, excited to get the
So we're
28
going-
special down
Yeah,
here.
we're diving in there head first with Jeff here on this deal, and hopefully everything turns out all right. We can have us a good competitive car there with that deal, and have a good relationship, and move some cars for him.
If it turns out half as good as the 04 GRT we got from him, it'll be a good move.
For sure.
Mhm.
Stay tuned for that. That should be something we'll see here in the coming weeks.